match where the winner will get $37,000.
Chris, I think that Pete Weber is snuck by two opponents that have really defeated themselves. Pete Weber has recovered from some poor frames, but I don't think he has that luxury against Monacelli. This is the most experienced player he's played, and I think the toughest opponent, both physically and mentally, among the first three players.
Has to be a psychological boost every time you open with a strike, Bo.
Well, I agree with that. And Weber, Weber history, his dad was the same way. They opened the match with 3 or 4, trying to put it on the opponent. But I'll tell you what, Amleto Monacelli, I think, probably has the strongest mental game I've seen on tour since Don Johnson.
Look at that 5-pin spin.
We call that the paralyzer shot. The ball absolutely hit the 5-pin, but the head pin came off the sideboard so quickly, it caught it at a very unique time. Watch this. Now watch the action of the head pin. Here comes the ball. It's going to hit the 5. Head pin goes to sideboard, comes back, and taps the back of the 5-pin to stand it up and spin it. The old paralyzer. Bad break for Amleto to get going with.
Smoothness and great technique. Amleto Monacelli marks with a spare in the first frame of the match leading to the final game.
Amleto, Bold and Erie, and then after the telecast last week, Chris, he drove down through beautiful upstate New York with me to do a charity exhibition. As you look at Teresa, who flew in from South America into Newark. He did a charity exhibition for me with the Hospice Society last Sunday, so he had an extra day's practice. I think that's the reason he bowled so well this week.
So an 8-pin, single-pin spare for Amleto as we are on beautiful Long Island, 20 miles at its widest point, 118 miles east-northeast from the mouth of the Hudson River on Manhattan, 1,400 square miles of playground. Looking at the right hand immediately, though.
Well, Chris, he's just not getting a good solid lift. He's losing it off his hand. We saw him lose it, and it slid by the head pin in the previous game against Himmler, and here he kind of jumps at it and leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10. I remember in Long Island down at the old Garden City Bowl where we used to bowl, Pete actually had one slip off his hand and throw it backwards on TV, so he has some hand trouble.
All right, once again, our Triple Crown winner, president of the PBA, Johnny Petraglio.
Thank you, Chris. Brian, I thought you performed real well today, but 1 ball light, 1 ball high, you paid the max for both of them. A bit unlucky?
A little bit. I felt I threw the ball in the second in attempt to force Pete to strike. I thought that was going to get back. I was really shocked. Maybe I threw it a little hard. Me and Pete are good friends. I'm sure we'll bowl each other many times this year. We're having good years. Hopefully he'll storm on to the title.
He's a really good young player, Chris. I'm sure he'll be back.
10-pin on the left lane.
And Himmler had a very good point, as you see Pete Weber leaving a first really tap of the day, a solid 10. Is this left-hand lane is hanging a pinch. We saw a couple of 2-10 combinations, and we saw Amleto go light and leave almost the 2-8 in his first frame on that lane. So that may be a big change in the match. Who can hit the left-hand lane?
And now here's a man who was a PBA Player of the Year back-to-back years in '89 and '90, Amleto Monacelli.
Well, we're seeing something that I didn't see most of the week in the championship round today. As you see the 2-4-5, Amleto, a very omni-dimensional player, will throw a straight shot right at the 2, 4, and 5. But what I'm seeing on my strike ball is a little hang spot way down the lane, and I didn't see that most of the week.
Marking with 3 spares, Amleto Monacelli.
Good technique made that spare. Amleto pulled the ball left of his target, but he killed the shot through what we call a little top spinner. Marshall Holman used to have that shot for spares, and he just skinnied the spare and knocking the 2-5 into the 4. Now Amleto is going to play from the extreme left side of the approach. His target is going to be right in this third arrow zone, out to all the way out to the edge. Amleto gets a good read on that shot. He threw that ball very well. He expected that to come back up for a strike. He gets an easy spare to shoot at, and he will make an adjustment when he comes up there in the 6th, 8th, and 10th frames, and I'm sure this match will close down to the 10th frame. So that could be a key shot. He must make the adjustments. That's the key to being a great pro anyway.
Mr. Smoothie, Amleto Monacelli. We will be back. Kalachi's important names here. Arthur Kalachi, the chairman, is in Florida recuperating from knee surgery. A great athlete. We miss him. But he's watching along with you, Pete Weber. Spare up. 3, 6, 9, 10.
Well, you have 2 players. Amleto cannot hit the left-hand lane. He's hanging. Pete Weber can't hit the right-hand lane. He's jumping high. So Peter's got to move him in and make a adjustment, and also he's got a very difficult spare, which he's already converted once. The 3, 6, 9, 10. Peter made that in the 2nd frame on this lane.
Very tippy-toe as we look at Tracy, his wife, who helps coach him, helps give him advice.
Tracy, an excellent bowler, used to bowl in the Ladies Masters League in the St. Louis area. So, advice well taken. Say, Peter, you can hit this lane. Let's make an adjustment on